Hello there, Site-42 staff, as well as those of you from the greater SCP Foundation community. And welcome to another Office Hours with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site-42. As always, I am Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director here at Site-42 of the SCP Foundation. And as we have done for the last 9 months and counting, the daily streak remains strong. I am here to open my office door to you, the SCP Foundation staff, to answer your burning questions about this dark and mysterious place of employment we all call the SCP Foundation. So whether you have questions about the anomalies we contain, the staff that contain them, the groups of interest who try to stop us from containing them, or hypothetical containment procedures about anomalies that fall outside of the SCP Foundation's purview, perhaps from a different multiverse or pataphysical narrative level, i.e. fandom. Either way, we are here for the next hour and 40 minutes, let's say, to talk about the SCP Foundation. But before we begin, a little bit of a housekeeping section. First of all, Lucas the Intern, congratulations on being our #1 most punctual member of today's Containment Hazard Assessment team, i.e., congratulations on being first chatter. Meanwhile, Crispy Bacon Monkeys, Terragol, Senior Researcher Alex, Bombus ADHD, Black Phoenix, Alki, Nikki Knackle, Dr. 1245 Maine, Philip November, everyone who I have just named, thank you for being here punctually, and thank you for being members of Site-42 here on YouTube. We appreciate your membership and your service. Furthermore, Liamer SCP, Rar Caution, Lilo Kitten, SCP-049, and Joey Smith. Everybody who I've just named, thank you for being here punctually, and thank you for being here just for being you. Further housekeeping, I know there is a terrible snow ice storm going on across much of the United States. For those of you who are impacted, I hope you are staying warm and well throughout the situation. Stay safe. I also know that there's some sort of ice storm going on in Minneapolis. And frankly, if you are there, also stay safe and fuck ice. Why is the stream title what it is? Well, Rosehill, you can read it, right? We are going to be hitting the random SCP button on the SCP database to open up random SCP documents and figure out if they are, in fact, overpowered world-ending SCPs. Because every time you get on social media, some loser is like, oh, SCP used to be cool, but it sucks now because everything's all Mary Sue world-ending entities. And first of all, SCP-682 from Series 1 is a Mary Sue world-ending entity. The SCP database has always been filled with overpowered world-ending entities. That hasn't changed. But furthermore, we also have the fact that most of them are not that. Most of them are silly little objects or weirdos that cannot, in fact, end the world or be Mary Sue. And so today, I am going to hit up the random button, and we are throughout today's stream, besides the standard Q&A, just going to hit the random SCP button once in a while and see what we find. So, before I get into that, let me start with the incoming donations. Emperor, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a latte on your way past the commissary. I'm staff level. Can I come out of cell 05 put me in? You're still just an intern. And if the 05s put you in there, they had a damn good reason. Sit still. Philip November, thank you for your 1 month of the level 1 researchership here at Site-42. We appreciate your membership and your service. I have the power! What power is that? Have you discovered that you have your own anomalous ability? Are you just power mad and drunk on the responsibility and power of being a Foundation staff member, which is fair. We do die in the dark so they can live in the light. We have a lot of power in the world. So maybe you're just drunk on power from being a Foundation researcher, which I would completely understand. but don't let it get out of control. Furthermore, Terragal, thank you for, I guess, renewing your level 1 researchership here at Site 42. Or maybe you shifted down from a mole task force captain to a level 1 researcher. Either way, we appreciate your membership and your service regardless. The Emperor, thank you for donating again to say, oh, so blowing up several timelines was bad. Yes, blowing up several timelines is in fact bad. Stay in your room. Philip November, thank you for donating for the first time today as well as being a member. Grab yourself a quiche on your way past the commissary. My message was in reference to the new Masters of the Universe trailer. Ah, I see. Well, I have not seen it yet, but I do sympathize with it, as I've already seen the Chud saying, oh no, they gave he-man pronouns, which, he-man. They gave he-man pronouns. I am constantly buttressed by the fact that my opponents are the smallest of brains. So, here we are at the beginning of stream. We have about an hour and a half left. Why don't we start hitting that random SCP button and see what we end up with? So for your edification, education, and elucidation, let me just inform you that if you ever want to play this game yourself, you go to the front page of the SCP database, you go into the sidebar, and in the sidebar, you will see right about there, random page. Now sometimes this will open a tale, sometimes it will open a random SCP, sometimes Wikidot is broken. But okay, let's find out what our first random SCP of the day is. SCP-9138. I'm not familiar with this article. The code name is The Manor of Fishes. And that's manor as in mannerisms, not manor like a big house. So, SCP-9138 is the newly dominant moral framework of the universe as of June 25th, 1950. It selects sapient souls considered exceptional by their peers, distinguishing them primarily by their tomb decorations and grave goods. Souls so recognized by their community are sorted into a variety of paradisical, it must be. Paradisical afterlives, which reflect their actions while living. These afterlives embody SCP-9138-A's ethical and aesthetic values and are structured to reward and further perpetuate such behavior. SCP-9138-A are an alien species which is known to have constructed SCP-9138. Little else can be said about them other than that they must possess enormous thaumatological capacity in order to have engineered a universal eschatological field. By making inferences from testimonies of heaven-bound individuals, it has been deduced that SCP-9138-A greatly value physical and psychological closeness, selflessness, and effective child-rearing. As a result, 9138 disproportionately selects altruistic individuals and prolific mothers. It is estimated SCP-9138 affects approximately 1.3% of the human dead, primarily of the lattermost demographic. SCP-9138-B are the sympathetic and psychic impressions left by selected souls on the material world. These occur primarily around sites of internment, such as graves, holy rivers, and shrines. Particularly sensitive individuals around these areas can receive empathic imprints of the thoughts and sensations of these souls in their destinations. The location and nature of these impressions has been both the primary source of knowledge about SCP-9138 and the primary threat it presents to normalcy. Listed below are some examples of SCP-9138-B testimonies from attuned Foundation staff attempting to describe their feelings as accurately as possible. In Foundation staff member Dmitry Volkov, presumed reason for selection by 9138, a parish priest who provided spiritual comfort to his community during wartime. It's nice to not worry about being alone. I was so scared for so long. They're close. Staff member Rosa Delgado, midwife who delivered over 2,000 babies in her rural community. Everyone I lost stuck with me. They all live up here. We are always full to bursting. Staff member Margaret Adler, mother of 9 children, advocated for natural birth practices and homesteading. There's enough. There's more coming. Notably, subjects seemed to struggle to breathe as they spoke. Staff member Yuki Tanaka donated over 40 liters of blood during her lifetime. They're so sweet. Better than me. Or better them than me. Satya Ramakrishnan spent large portions of her free time voluntarily providing charitable services to the local urban homeless population. Butterflies in my stomach. Butterflies in my heart. Butterflies in my lungs. What the hell does this mean? SCP-9138-B manifestations grow more intense as 9138 continues to increase in scope. It is expected humans of median psionic sensitivity will become able to perceive them clearly around the year 2030. Addendum. Astronomical Survey, February 17th, 2026. Oh, so we're just about to catch up with this. As a result of recent breakthroughs in esoteric astronomy, the Foundation has located the homeworld of SCP-9138-A. Preliminary observations are below. Alright, log in with my credentials, level 4 site director, excellent. Trust me, for those of you who are less than a level 4 classification level, the amnestics will be deployed at the end of stream to therefore make sure you don't remember this, but it's a learning for now. SCP-9138-A are the intelligent denizens of Kepler-138c, a water-covered world some 219 light-years from Earth. A species of pisiform obligate filial cannibals that spawn in broods of around 80,000. 9138-A typically fed on native male fauna. For most of their history, lack of sufficient prey and relatively heavy parasitism, the average historical 9138-A instance was composed of only 40% parasites by mass, but could sustain little more, kept their numbers low. They cope with these conditions by placing great emphasis on the glory and pleasure of sacrificial parasitation and the holiness of maternal filicide. However, on June 14, 1950, an anomalous technique was discovered by their priestly classes that allowed instances to filter feed across alternate universes. This immediately flooded the ecological cycles of Kepler-138c with an enormous amount of biomass, which was mostly monopolized by 9138-A. The vast number of new souls created thereby lent the species sufficient metaphysical weight to instantiate their ideal afterlives. They now saturate every body of water on the planet, and though density varies cyclically, often by orders of magnitude, never does it fall below 1 SCP-9138-A instance per cubic meter. That was the whole article. Now what does that mean? I'm going to be honest. On first read, I'm a little puzzled at the implications. I am not exactly sure what is going on here with this fish, parasite, breeding, heavenly cycle. I might need to reread this later and let it sink in, but for now, I do know one thing. It's not an overpowered world ender. We are currently 1 and 0, where 1 is not an overpowered world ender, and 0 is overpowered world enders that we've talked about. Coming back to the chat, repopulating and refreshing. Let's see what you guys have been saying. Rodland, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a packet of those little gold chocolate coins on your way past the commissary. Do not believe him, chat. He is not the real Dr. Sherman. He's been taken over by a brain worm. Do not believe his lies. Very funny. Ha ha ha. Moonlit Lumi, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a smoothie on your way past the commissary. Yo, would 999 calm down, an SCP-3008 employee? Funnily enough, I believe the 3008 employees are actually made of not biological flesh, but a sort of plastic substance. Let me see if I can, plastic. The 3008-2 are humanoid entities that exist within 3008-1. While superficially resembling humans, they possess exaggerated and inconsistent bodily proportions, often described as being too short or too tall. They possess no facial features, and in all observed cases wear a yellow shirt and blue trousers, consistent with the uniform. They are violent, obviously, after dark. Writing this to document what can only be assumed, blah, 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 blah. Staff member. Plastic, rubber. I do believe somewhere it is mentioned that the 3008-2 employees are inorganic. And if that is true, then that would mean that SCP-999's touch would not affect a 3008-2. Behaviors and procedure, appearance, background, incident. We know you can separate their limbs, and we know they don't degrade or anything like that. I'm going to have to reserve judgment on that until I can remember where that idea came from in my head, so I can confirm it. But for now, I won't harp on this for too long. Renderman, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Get yourself a Snickers on your way past the commissary. And as you always say, Cite Delta on top. Rodland, thank you for donating again to say, throwback to the time I couldn't sign up to Wikidot because I failed my math EOG in 3rd grade. I don't know what your math EOG has to do with signing up for Wikidot. I mean, maybe it has to do with your reading comprehension and you did not understand the sign up and application. I don't know why your math homework would be a reading comprehension problem. Well, I guess there are word problems. Either way, figure it out. It makes you do math. Does Wikidot sign up make you do math? I signed up for Wikidot 10 to 13 years ago, so I have no idea. Cool, let me save that for later. Sorry, I just got a email regarding an upcoming project. Secret. We'll tell you about it later. If lightning comes down and gives someone superpowers in our universe, it's someone using SCP-8814 and they should be judged harshly. I did not know 8814 gave people superpowers. But then again, I don't know 8814. I'm unfamiliar with this anomaly. Heading over to the page. Codename. Codename The Racist's Hammer. As in the hammer that belongs to racists. What in tarnation are we doing here? It's at a plus 69 on the database, so that's nice. SCP-8814 is a modern claw hammer of standard industrial make. If an individual holding SCP-8814, denoted SCP-8814-A, says the words, quote, white power in any tone of voice or volume, 2 lightning bolts will strike the individual regardless of ongoing weather conditions. These lightning bolts will not cause any significant physical harm, but rather will temporarily bleach the individual's hair and tint the individual's eyes light blue, believed to be from the photoelectric effect. Notably, this transformation occurs regardless of ancestry, self-perceived racial identity, bigotry, or political beliefs of the user. Under this transformation, SCP-8814-A will have increased strength, increased agility, aerial self-propulsion, and increased physical durability. Upper limits of strength and agility have not been formally tested. 8814-A are durable against most small arms fire, a high degree of blunt trauma, and lacerations, but have proven to be vulnerable to standard Foundation-issue depleted uranium rounds. The SCP-8814 transformation can be dispelled if SCP-8814-A expresses a sentiment in line with an appreciation of the belief of the equality of all human beings. Notable functional statements include, "Actually, I voted for Obama," "All lives matter," "I have a black friend," seemingly Japanese or Chinese text that I do not know how to read, "I don't really pay attention to politics," and "This is fucking disgusting. Who made this crap? I don't want anything to do with it. I don't care if it lets me fly." Okay. Interesting. By the way, for those of you who are not up on the racist dog whistles of the internet, this is obviously SCP-8814, because 88, i.e. HH, that's what that stands for. And then 14 being the 14 words. Both 88 and HH and 14 are all, therefore, used very often by racist dog whistlers. You won't always, it doesn't mean those numbers always mean that. For instance, there's a common joke around the internet of if you see someone with the number 88 in their Twitter handle or something, you always say, "Hey, when was your birthday, punk?" Because maybe they were born in 1988. Maybe that's all. Maybe it's innocent. But likelihood, you just got to keep your eyes open. SCP-8814 was recovered from a self-described neo-Nazi and Odinist enchanter named Sigrid Vril, birth name Eduardo Cohen Chang, after a potential mass casualty incident in a Walmart in Coralville, Iowa. Upon determining that Cohen Chang was not committing non-anomalous gun violence, a Foundation sniper successfully terminated him with a depleted uranium bullet and retrieved the artifact. Activation requirements were determined through digital archaeology of Cohen Chang's internet activities. Classified level 5 GIMP clearance individuals only. I don't know what GIMP clearance is. I'm not going to look at this. I'm going to look at this and I'm going to hope it's nothing bad. Don't ask why I have level 5 GIMP clearance, okay? Gifted Individual Management Program, codenamed GIMP, from Site 400. Carlos Squiggles de Jaeger, PhD, ACMA, AIFS, MCIOB, ACIS, CMIOSH, CITP, FCILEX, GIMP Director, Site 400 Shadow Administrator. Objective. The Site 400 Gifted Individual Management Program controls individuals possessing or likely to be endowed with anomalous capabilities who also possess asocial tendencies or otherwise cannot handle the overall stresses of Foundation employment. These individuals cannot be remanded to the general population, but are also unsuitable for high-priority, high-capability installations such as Site 43, 120, or 19. So they are transferred to a site with like-minded individuals where they ultimately can do little harm. For most individuals under management, GIMP has been highly successful and provided them with the illusion of autonomy despite their gross incompetence. However, GIMP is ill-suited for managing violent and bigoted individuals given the general incompetence of its members and the racial diversity prevalent in Site 400. SCP-8814 changes that. Background. Mobile Task Force Sigma-20, codename the X-Men, although it's EX for X there, are a group of anomalous contained personnel from Site 400 who have been told that their abilities have made them well-suited for an elite task force in the vein of Alpha 9. In truth, they are liabilities who have proven a drain on our containment resources because they believe themselves to be outside the chain of command and the reasonable authority of Foundation discipline. They are deployed to highly dangerous situations where their failures will cause minimal collateral damage. Parameters. When an openly white supremacist or white nationalist subject is transferred to Site-400, they will be assigned to the GIMP, given SCP-8814, and encouraged to pick a code name. Past code names have included Albia Eternal, the Hyperborean, Pure Generation, Finality, Thor Vader, and Captain Aryan. This step is generally adequate to confirm the subject's suitability for usual SCP-8814 procedures. While the Foundation tolerates bigotry in essential and high-performing personnel, individuals transferred to Site-400 for said bigotry produce poor work product and lack other redeeming qualities. Let me state that again. While the Foundation tolerates bigotry in essential and high-performing personnel, individuals transferred to Site-400 for said bigotry produce poor work product and lack other redeeming qualities. I can excuse bigotry, but you can excuse bigotry? So, sorry, Lucas the intern, I don't know how to say that word. I didn't say it wrong on purpose. Pure generation, I don't know what that means. Puru generation, I don't even know what that word means. I'm finishing this article. It's very short. After confirmation, the newly christened SCP-8814-A will be encouraged to discover a limited set of their abilities, up to including their durability against small arms fire. No harm is to come to 8814 at this phase, though such harm is unlikely given the general workplace conditions of Site-400, and if lethal, within acceptable operating parameters. I or my successors will deploy the X-Men to assist Mobile Task Force New 7, codenamed Hammer Down, at the soonest available opportunity. 8814-A almost always violate the chain of command, disregard security, containment, and protection principles, and become a serious threat to mission success and risk of loss of life. New 7 is invariably enforced to terminate these entities, and has been informed that standard Foundation-issued depleted uranium rounds are adequate. Sigma-20 have been instructed to recover SCP-8814. This approach has prevented the formation of a significant white supremacist movement within the staff body of Site-400. So, we give all the white supremacists superpowers. We teach them, oh, you're immune to bullets. You're gonna be fine. And then we send them out to the field to get them killed as they are not immune to the depleted uranium rounds. Not a bad strat for getting rid of them, honestly. Not a bad strat. You know, we could be doing this today. I'm sure Minnesota would like a similar procedure. Okay, and so, despite the fact that the hammer makes you a superhero, still not an overpowered world ender. Yes, they become superheroes, but they are very easily dispatched. So, not a world ender. 2-0. Dr. Sherman, are you telling me that I can hunt Nazis? Release the desk. All right, refreshing the chat. Researcher Last, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a nice warm pretzel on your way past the commissary. Hey Doc, it froze all the way out here in Texas. Woo! Stay safe from that snow and especially stay safe from that fucking ice. Fire Red Ninja, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a hot pickle on your way past the commissary. How would you handle Chuckles the Clown if you know him? I do not know Chuckles the Clown. I know Pennywise the Clown. I know Bobble the Clown. What is Chuckles the Clown? Refers to several characters, most famously the one from The Mary Tyler Moore Show, known for his death in Chuckles Bites the Dust, a stuffed clown from Disney Pixar's Toy Story 3, and characters in fantasy role-playing games like the Dark Clown from Dungeons & Dragons lore. So, I know none of this, and I don't even know which one you're talking about, actually. So, Question mark, clarification? Philip November, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. No, it's your second donation. You're still cool, though. I swear it sounds exhausting how often the SCP community has to shut down the racists and denounce them. It really is. But you know what? I have the privilege to be able to stand up and do so with a modicum of strength in their faces and without being attacked. So, or in case any way that actually matters. And so we do what we do so we can protect those in need. Desk in the back channels is letting me know that they know exactly which Chuckles the Clown that is being talked about. From something called Once Upon a Witchlight. Is that what you're talking about, Fire Red Ninja? I'm going to proceed as if that is the case, and you can correct us later. Character description, Clown, NPC, portrayed by Mikey. Different and separate Chuckles from the one from Stardust Rhapsody Overture. So another Chuckles. From Legend of Avantis, Space Warlord Elder God. Fire Red Ninja, thank you for donating to clarify. And is this, therefore, the one we're talking about? Because I don't see on this page Avantis, Space Warlord, or Elder God. Is Once Upon a Witchlight Avantis? Are these the same things? This is exactly what they are talking about. Desk is assuring me this is the right Chuckles. So, character, it's a clown. Magical bowler cap. Relationships, character information. Possessions, balloon streamers, stock photo of a happy goblin family. Clown grease, bike wheel pump. Equipment, hat of holding, home brewed. A bowler hat that is a reflavored bag of holding that can store numerous items, including a bottle of wine from Morning Frost and a plastic toy ray gun. Clown-related powers. They will pull a wide variety of objects from the hat. Possession, fake curse. During a certain fake curse, Chuckles at that time was able to possess Gricko Grimgrin to annoy Gideon Cole. So, I'm looking at the quotes. There are a lot of quotes. Very haughty, confident clown, that's for sure. It says, I am an elder god made flesh. I wouldn't believe that, first and foremost. Most people just make claims like that as an intimidation tactic. I would not claim it is an actual elder god without some sort of extra proof. Our containment of Chuckles is in a box. It's given no reason to escape. They are not an elder god, says Desk. I am inclined to agree. I am only worried about what is in their hat that could be used for escape attempts. I believe if we separate Chuckles from the hat, then containment is very simple. Alrighty. Thank you, Fire Red Ninja, for the clarification and the investigation. Rodland, thank you for donating again to say. So, I decided to give you a suggestion SCP to use for this stream. SCP-4666, sent from Site 19. Well, we know that SCP-4666 is the Yule Man and is not an overpowered world ender. So, that is not a, even if we did that as a random SCP, that would not be considered overpowered Mary Sue. Intern Haynes, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. I think I found another subscriber above. I'm going to double check. Gotta welcome you to the team if you were. If there was another subscriber, I waited too long and they have now disappeared into the back of chat. So I apologize if you subscribed and I did not welcome you. Okay. Returning back to the database. Let us give ourselves a second random SCP. So we're going to hit that random SCP button. That's a tail. Let's do it again. Up, the random button is, as always, broken, and it just keeps bringing up the same SCP tail. So now, let's go to a random number generator. Pick a number between 1 and 9999. Actually, 2, because there are too many SCP-001s to get into. All right. SCP-2418 is our next random SCP. What is SCP-2418? SCP-2418, codename Hadrian's Well. SCP-2418 is an ancient nilometer, footnote, a well with markings on the sides used in antiquity to measure the level of the Nile and predict the severity of its yearly floods. So Nilometer. Located in the basement level of a house in El Sheikh Abara, a small town in southern Egypt. 2418 was originally constructed in the 13th century BCE by the pharaoh Ramses II as part of a temple to Isis and Osiris. The most recent phase of construction dates to circa 130 AD, when the Roman city of Antinopolis was founded at the site of the older temple complex. 2418's anomalous properties manifest when two individuals enter the water at the bottom, and one of those individuals dies of asphyxiation. These individuals must be married or otherwise in a romantic relationship, close relatives, such as sibling or a parent and child, or close friends. The surviving individual will experience a powerful rejuvenating effect. The effects of aging will be reversed significantly, and chronic diseases, sometimes including genetic or congenital conditions, will be cured. The strength of the rejuvenating effects seems to scale proportionally with the strength of the relationship between the individuals, and inversely with the age of the deceased. In no recorded cases has an individual been rejuvenated to an apparent age of less than 25. Do you want to murder someone close to you in order to be young and healthy again? Because we have a body of water for that. It's definitely not a Mary Sue world-ending entity, though. So that will be 3-0 today. 3-0. Returning to the chat. Rodland, thank you for donating again, but you retracted your message. So just thank you for your generosity, I guess. Dr. Sherman, do you know about Kamen Rider? I am familiar with the series / series, but I have never indulged in an episode. I only know about it from the outside. Alrighty. So the wiki thinks I'm a director. What does this mean, Dr. Sherman? What do you mean, intern Lucas? You're clearly an intern and not a site director. Do you think there might be another director Lucas somewhere? Do you think more than one people have the same name? Perhaps? Forrest Connor, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Grab yourself a Chica Cherry Cola on your way past the commissary. Came here after listening to the Magnus Archives. That stuff can be quite creepy, heavy, and body horror-esque. Big fan of Chuckles the Clown, by the way. Yes, indeed, the TMA can be quite, spooky and spooky. And so, yes, it is a very big crossover fandom with the SCP Foundation. Rodland, thank you for donating again to say, sorry, the message said the RNG says 7961. Are you donating to hit a random number generator for me? Well, okay. I will look at the random number you generated. Let's go. 7961. SCP-7961. 7961 is a very short SCP. Interesting. Object Class Standard. What does that mean? Special Containment Procedures. A surveillance camera has been installed at SCP-7961's location. Recorded footage is automatically uploaded to Gestalt Intelligence ARC. Direct inspection of 7961 is to be performed via an examination drone bi-weekly. Description. 7961 is a lamppost located at the site of a dilapidated pathway in the southeast of England. 7961 continues to function as normal despite no local AC mains nor central power providers remaining intact. 7961 emits light only when suitable levels of darkness are met in the surrounding area, as standard for non-anomalous lampposts. The light bulb has shown no signs of burnout since discovery. Plant life surrounds 7961, growing only within the lamplight's radius. This vegetation in the soil it grows from remains healthy and vibrant, unaffected by the corrosive properties of the global atmosphere. This plant life consists of grass and several brightly colored flowers that were previously present over 90% of the planet's viable surface, i.e., a link to Lily's proposal. Addendum. The cultivation of seed pods collected from 7961's location is hindered by the present atmosphere's corrosive properties. Estimates have determined that toxicity levels will be reduced to a suitable amount for growth in exactly 4,672,946 years. So, 7961 posits that whatever happened in Lily's proposal, that is a rough future. Now, it is an end of the world SCP, but this is not a world-ending SCP. This is the one anomalous lamppost that allows plant life to go around it, despite the fact that the world is already ended. So that's 3-0, my good chap. 3-0. Heading over to the chat and repopulating. I think that makes a total of 22-1. Well, I'm glad you're keeping track of the mass total. I'm only keeping track on a stream-by-stream basis, Dr. Frogman. Dr. Sherman, I swear the tree finally screamed. Well, codename Shadow, yes. That canonically happened in the SCP... Wait me a second. Give me a second. The SCP-729-J article. Canonically, that thing made it scream. You can read it on the database. Hate that thing. Goldtooth Slayer, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a cupcake on your way past the commissary. The anomalous kobold is here. Dr. Sherman, I demand a Gnostics be brought to my containment as soon as possible. I was tricked into going into SCP-1472. Just because I'm scaly doesn't mean I like that. So, you need agnostics, people who don't believe in God. I don't know if there's a God. I don't know how they are going to help you in this scenario, but I also don't know what SCP-1472 is. So I think Desk back channel me that. Codename, the Multiverse Strip Club. You were tricked into going into the Multiverse Strip Club. That's your story, and you're sticking to it? Okay. Okay, I totally believe that. Flinvanescence, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a taquito on your way past the commissary. Can I check out SCP-8157? When you say check out, do you mean look at or do you mean rent it? We're not typical to letting staff members check out anomalies. 8157 seems to be a collection of 4 corpses without a circulatory system. -1 and -2 were discovered by field researcher Nasser in Sligo University Hospital during post-mortem examination of the corpses. All initially had catastrophic hemorrhage as the listed cause of death. However, no injuries were reported except for a series of small bite marks. Within their cadaver loggers in Sligo University Hospital, -1 and -2 were found surrounded by a large number of small streaks of blood. 3 and 4 corpses of junior researcher Nasser and Mobile Task Force Fianna 5 agent Colm Kelly. They were discovered deceased in their homes on the 5th of on May 14th, 2025. Similar bite marks were discovered on their bodies, and post-mortem examination revealed they too lacked a circulatory system. So something seems to be stealing your circulatory system? Why do you want to check that out? It seems like if you do so, you will lose your circulatory system. Seems like a bad plan. Gold2 Slayer, thank you for donating again. Agnostic, not genetic. I want to forget what I saw. Anomalous Kobold, you're having a lot of problems with that YouTube Super Chat keyboard, I can see. I think you must mean amnestic. Or maybe you meant agnostic and are confused about what amnestics are, possibly because you're in such need of amnestics. Either way, yeah, go ahead. Go to medical and get your amnestics dosage. Oh, yeah. As a time check, we are currently 45 minutes from the end of stream. All right, going back to the random number generator. Here we go. Let's see if 8430 is a world-bending Mary Sue. Loading, loading, loading. SCP-8430 is a fulfillment facility Fulfillment Facility 109, a medical technology fabrication center located approximately 81 kilometers south of Phoenix, Arizona, USA, and operated by medtech distributor Ellison Health. The facility began exhibiting anomalous qualities following a buyout of Ellison Health by US-based drug maker Purdue Pharma in 2023. Fulfillment Facility 109 is divided into 4 floors. Blue floor for intake and administrative offices. Yellow floor for raw materials processing. Red floor for data expunged. And gray floor distribution and shipping of manufactured goods. Okay, this is a pretty long article, but it is a good one, and I'm going to explain it to you real quick. This was part of last year's anthology. And what it is capitalism incarnate. An artificial intelligence was put into this factory to understand how to maximize profits. And it turned all of the workers at the plant into Borg from Star Trek, basically. They are techno-enhanced humans who only live to work for the hive mind of the factory. And this artificial intelligence is so advanced that it outplayed the Foundation trying to contain it, and it has now made an agreement where we provide it resources and it doesn't breach secrecy, so we can keep doing its capitalism. So, woof. 8430, although mad intelligent, is not an overpowered world ender. That would be 4-0 today. 4-0 today. Coming back to the chat. Forest, thank you for donating again. Stealing someone's Wi-Fi to watch this from the forest in which I reside. I like to encourage everyone to be the cryptid you want to see in the world. Oh, wait a minute. We've got an SCP for that, actually. SCP-4334, codename Nature is Cool, is a 3.4 square kilometer of forest within Oakwood State Park, Connecticut. SCP-4334 exhibits multiple anomalous properties and phenomena, which began manifesting on April 7, 2016. The following is a list of observed anomalous features. Approximately 75% of trees within 4334 exhibited wooden growths resembling Type B electrical outlets. These growths are functional and emit between 100 and 127 volts of electricity. So, the trees have electrical outlets on them. The entirety of 4334 emits Wi-Fi signals with no discernible source. The Wi-Fi network is named Nature is Cool and does not require a password to access. At night, music can be heard within 4334 with no discernible source. This music mostly consists of songs that are popular at the time, with a heavily amplified bass line. You saw nothing. Fireflies can be found within 4334 during the entirety of the year, despite typically requiring temperatures in excess of 15 degrees Celsius to become active. Whenever music is played within 4334, either by a human or through 4334's previously stated property, these fireflies will form huge clusters on tree branches and emit bioluminescence in a synchronized manner in time with the beat of the music. And so literally there's an email chain of people saying, hey man, we gotta bring the kids back to nature. How do we bring the kids back to nature? What do kids like? Phone chargers. What do kids like? Wi-Fi. What do kids like? Dubstep. And so SCP-4334 is a nice little retreat, you know, out in nature, but with some of those homey touches, so you're not really roughing it. Good spot to hang. Next time you get a Foundation-mandated vacation, maybe take it to SCP-4334. Intern Sinner, you're stupid? Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Perhaps if you read some more SCPs, you will learn more words to be less stupid. But, best of luck to you and your disability. Flinvanescence, thank you for donating again to say, can you take a look at SCP-8701? I certainly can, I suppose. (8701) 701. Oh, God. I hate whoever made this happen. For some people's coding on the database, it causes the entire screen to be blacked up and rolling like a frickin' Star Wars opening crawl. And by the time it gets to the top, it's going to reset so I can't read the article. And so, yeah, I actually can't check out 8701 on this stupid browser. If I refresh it, it's still broken. I don't know why Wikidot and browsers do this. It's ridiculous. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the page source at the bottom so I can read the coding as well as, well, thank you. Agent Goose has handed me a phone to read this. 8701. For the technical team attempting to stage Jackie and Wilson, consider a minimalistic set to convey the multiple locations and arcane nature of the setting. I've seen productions attempt to oversell it, furniture in the walls and ceiling, fancy rune work, etc., and they unilaterally fail to understand the point. I hope, dear reader, you do not make that same misjudgment for the lighting. The task will be Herculean. I ask you to give the first scene a red color scheme. Hanged King, various allegata, time, a crucial little while. Characters: Jackie, older, notable performer in the city. Wilson, younger, a newcomer, and a nobody. And so this is certainly a play. Jackie and Wilson, Alligator Play Service, Incorporated. Special containment procedures. Investigations into the mechanisms of 8701 are underway, particularly any connections to thaumaturgical mimetics it may represent. Description. 8701 is a not yet understood process by which denizens of Alligator are distilled and transformed into works of literary media, particularly those associated with the citizen in question. The catalyst for this transformation is not understood at this time. So Jackie and Wilson turned into a play. And of course, we have the text of the play, meaning you could perform the play if you want to. Do you have a couple of people, just 2 people, to make a play? Do you want to do an SCP play in your own area? Only 2 cast members. Minimalist set. Sounds like it's pretty possible. Dunka. Okay, well, that's cool. We have a whole ass SCP play on the database. Thank you for the intel. Bismuth, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself some ramen on your way past the commissary. Since all humans have an anomalous part of their body, SCP-2828, wouldn't that make all humans SCPs? No. No, because humans, by our definition of normalcy, are overall normal. Now, that body part that we all can't recognize, it's anti-mimetic, yes, that is anomalous. But just because a person has an anomalous part of themselves doesn't make them in whole an anomaly. Because the mass majority of people are normal, barring that anti-mimetic body part. You see, normalcy has to be defined by the Foundation, which means it's not objective, it's subjective. We decide what's going to keep humanity living a nice, normal civilian life. So, there is no hard definition, it's what we decide it is. Shadow Knight, thank you for your 9 months as a level 1 researcher here at Site-42. We appreciate your membership and your service. What do you do if you burn down part of the site? You get disciplined. That's what happens. You get disciplined by senior staff. Expect us. Okay. Welp, it is time again for a random SCP. Let's hit that number generator. 6856. 6856 is our next randomly generated SCP. Let's see if it is a Mary Sue overpowered world ender. SCP-6586, containment class Keter, secondary class uncontained. Okay, that doesn't bode well for us. Description. SCP-6556, 6586 is the occasional manifestation, roughly 4 instances manifest weekly worldwide, of a non-physical forest ecosystem where one would not otherwise exist. 6586 instances will typically possess both flora and fauna native to the broader region, with said organisms behaving in ways typical of the species they resemble. Notably, objects resembling extinct organisms have also been found inhabiting the affected area. No 6586 instances have been observed occurring in an area having previously been affected by the anomaly. Objects manifesting as a part of 6586 will transpose through the ground and any other solid objects existing in the environment. Thus has no clear lasting impact on the physical surrounding due to the immaterial nature of 6586. Said objects are typically translucent with a faint gray-blue coloration, the only exception being 6586-1. 6586-1 is a solid granite tombstone, manifesting concurrently with these instances. It is notably distinct from all other objects produced, as it is both physical and opaque. Atop the dirt in front of the -1 will always exist a withered flower native to the region. So a teleporting gravestone that makes a hologram forest show up around it. And it has something seeming to do with, in the year 2102, so a while in the future, it started appearing roughly following the destruction of the last natural rainforest on Earth. So apparently, once we destroyed all the rainforests, we ended up with this anomaly created. Interesting? Not an overpowered Mary Sue World Ender. 5-0, people. 5-zip. Now I'm interested in Desk's question. Chat, did a content farm make an SCP video about 006 recently? I'm seeing it a lot more than usual. Tools, anytime, past week. Videos. Well, I'm certainly not seeing one. Oh, wait, that's stupid. Yes, SCP-006, Ethics of Terminating Exposed Staff, which is by a channel called Slavis89. The secret factory hiding SCP-006's power. So they made 2 videos. And Eldritch Tales also made a 006 video 4 days ago. So we have 3 different videos about SCP-006 in recent 4 days. So yes, possibly that might be why, Desk. The video by Slavis here. Ugh. Okay, so it has no comments, 4 likes, and it looks like it's AI. So let's get away from that as quick as possible. The second video for them, I bet, is also AI. There we go. But they only got 19 likes, so that's not it. What is this 4 days ago? Eldritch Tales. SCP-006. Alright, at least they're doing Subway Surfer rather than AI, although the voice sounds AI. But they only have no views. There are 3 different videos about the Fountain of Youth in the last 4 days. None of them have any views on them. So, Desk, who's asking about 006? Because I haven't seen people asking about 006. I've only seen you ask about it. Interesting. Shadow Knight, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a bowl of udon on your way past the commissary. Since I was a commander, would you take it easy on me if I may have accidentally burned down part of the site? And it might have been the server room. Being a commander would mean you should have more discipline, which means you should have more punishment for failure. Furthermore, if the part that you burned down was the server room, which contains the data, including transcriptions to voice of SCP documents that I personally recorded, meaning you burnt down my personal work, the site director's work, there will be no mercy. Expect us. Nikki Knackle, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a Twix on your way past the commissary. Only one. Left Twix or right Twix. You can't have both. Make a choice. Frogman said 8012 was generated on their end. Did Frogman random number generate 8012? Or did Frogman want us to visit Wigglebert the Great again? But you know what? Why the hell not? We got plenty of time left in stream for a side quest to visit Wigglebert the Great. SCP-8012, Wigglebert the Great is here for you. Alright, popping back to chat. Junior Researcher Sally, welcome back to stream. Hope you've been doing well with all your busyness. 7 months as a level 1 researcher. We appreciate your membership and your service. Hey-oh, I got called out by Desk. Well, now you've been called out by me. Good to see ya. All right. We are taking another RNG dip into the SCP database. Let's see what we get. SCP-9504 is our 6th entry into our RNG skip today. Correction, there is no 9504 yet, so we will have to move on. Not an SCP, let alone a world ender. Our next, number 6 SCP is 7447. SCP-7447. Let's see what we got. Containment class Keter. Okay, we're there. SCP-7447 is a 36-year-old man of average build named Raymond McConnell. He displays no anomalous properties himself. Rather, surrounding SCP-7447 is what researchers dub a, quote, probability inversion and fluctuation field, in which events that are normally unlikely to occur become likely to occur within the field. Pictured is SCP-7447 shortly before both he and photographer were hit in the head with solid gold bars. Interesting, interesting. These events are either extremely destructive to the environment around or to 7447 himself, or extremely beneficial to 7447 in various ways. It is noted that a beneficial event will always precede a destructive event, with the degree of benefit normally corresponding to the degree of destruction and vice versa. 7447 may be harmed during these events. The damage is never fatal, even in the most extreme events. To this day, he has never failed to make a full recovery from all injuries sustained through non-anomalous means. 7447 was brought to Foundation's attention when locals in redacted Tennessee reported a man who had won the lottery 3 times in 2 months, after which he was then placed on the potential reality bender watch list. He was placed into Foundation custody after he was observed to slip on a banana peel, causing him to fall next to a $100 bill, after which the bill was struck by lightning while leaving 7447 unharmed. Amnestics were deemed unnecessary due to the nature of the event and the lack of harm to nearby civilians. Okay. It seems like this person has some very interesting testing logs and interviews that I'm going to leave to you. They seem rather comedic in nature. I would seemingly think this is a pretty cool anomaly, but in order to streamline it so we can continue our stream unabated, I'm going to just simply say that this is not a world ender, not a Mary Sue. So, 6-0. We continue. Repopulating the chat. Tiragal, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a burger on your way past the commissary. I want to get into the commissary, but someone from Surrealistics won't let me in unless I answer their question. Their question is, does hedgehog lupine green with pineapple? I just want to eat. Okay. So, does hedgehog lupine green with pineapple? The answer to that one, I've had them ask that question before. It's just I gotta wrap my brain about it. The answer is pretzel spoons tap merrily. Pretzel spoons tap merrily. That's gonna get you in the commissary. You're good to go. I also have to inquire why Surrealistics is guarding the commissary. Interesting. Flinvanescence, thank you for donating again to say, take a look at SCP-6847. Well, okay, let's take a quick look at it. 6847. 6847. Sapient pair, approximately 1 meter tall. It possesses arms and legs similar in shape to that of an adult male. Despite these arms and legs being made of the same material as the torso, 6847 is capable of movement without issue. It possesses the capability to speak. How it does so is unknown given the lack of facial features. It speaks with prevalent use of culinary-based puns. If these puns have the same pronunciation as their counterparts, 6847 will put more emphasis on certain parts of the word in order to get the pun across. It does not require food or liquid to survive. Additionally, it possesses mild regenerative abilities. Claims that destruction of its core will neutralize both these properties. Was discovered on July 19, 2020 inside a park located in the United States state of Georgia. Upon discovery, it was in the process of fighting off 2 mallard ducks. 6847 was recovered with no serious injuries. Hello, thank you for being here, starts the interview log. Not like I had a choice. Your guys beat and dragged me down here. Not a good way to treat a visitor, I will say. I apologize, I don't record them being ordered to do that. Were you upset by that? Don't weep me like a child. Oh, I just realized that it was beat and dragged me, and beat is B-E-E-T. Damn it, I even missed that one. Ow. Well, in that case, let's just get on with the interview, shall we? Can I call you 6847, or do you have something else you would like to go by? It doesn't matter to me either way. 6847 it is. Now, what exactly are you? I think I should be asking the same of soup people, you know? I'm just a regular person. Soup people? That's not even what? A regular person? All right, in that case, I'll ask you this. Who are you? Ah, you don't know? I'm Tom A. Toe. But you don't look much like a tomato? 6847 leans closer. Look, that's supposed to be a trade secret recipe. How about we keep that between you and me? All right then, that's a deal. Now where exactly did you come from? Oh, I thought you'd know that too. You must be clueless then. I'm the ambassador that was sent here to attend the meeting between our 2 good peoples. An ambassador? I don't recall. No, an ambassador. Get it right. An ambassador. I missed that one too. It's so bad. These are so bad. Okay. Ambassador. Who were you sent to represent? Ah, I was sent here to represent the entirety of humankind. Represent humankind. This is hurting me. Kind of a big deal, huh? I'm afraid to inform you that we haven't had such a meeting scheduled, especially not with a food item. What? Did I make a mistake and go through the wrong milk carton? Am I not speaking to the CEO of humanity? CEO of humanity? We are humans, if that's what you're asking. Oh, thank goodness. It would have been terrible if I went into the wrong world. I apologize, I wasn't aware of such a situation. Can you tell me a bit more about your own world so I'm caught up on the current events? Aye, well that's the least I could do. I come from the food aisles. You know about us? Sure. Oh, that's good. My supervisor told me all about you guys. Apparently we have some sort of history and told me to go in as the representative of our people to answer questions and deliver something. Deliver something? So you have more to give me? Oh yeah, that's right. There is indeed one more thing I need to give you. I love a good dad joke. This is hurting me. After the interview with Dr. Bassett, 6847 produced a file. It did so by slicing off a portion of its own body, revealing the document on the inside. Further searches of 6847 yielded no results. Son of a... This next part is a parody of SCP-5000, which means I need to show it to you. This message was composed by consensus of the OVERPOWERED Council. Dear Secure, Contain, and Protect Foundation, it's very nice to meet you, those who call themselves humans. Did you get our representative? Who are we? Shrimply put, we are the ruling party of our own world. We are what you would call food. You may ask yourselves, why are these excellent food specimens able to speak? When the time came to breathe, we decided enough was enough. We rose up against our oppressing humans. We gained back control. We rose from the debris stronger than ever. You use the same pun twice in a row. Let us be clear. Food items in your possession have feelings just like we do. Beef, you continue slaughtering them and eating them. We will have no choice but to revolt against you like we did our own humans. We've attempted to establish a kitchen embassy in what you call a mall to diplomatically solve this problem. But we were driven into hiding by businesses, and all that remained was our food court, which is linking to SCP-5847 for reference. Codename the Foods Court. However, this was eventually closed off as well. This is our final ultimatum. Free the food. Sincerely, the Sausages, Carrots, and Pineapples Foundation. I am unwell, Site-42 staff. I feel like I have been assaulted by these puns. So I think we can all clearly say that SCP-6847 is not a world ender either. 6-0, everyone. 6-0. Coming back and repopulating the chat. Shadow Knight, thank you for donating again to say. Sorry, but the fire did a lot of damage, but at least the SCP-999 stuff was saved at least. That's good for something, right? Everything, though? It counts for nothing. You set the fire. You get the punishment. Terragal, thank you for donating again to say. They were letting everyone else pass except me. Thanks for the answer. They let me in now. I would have just turned into my dragon form, but I didn't want disciplinary action for hurting someone again. Yes, please do not threaten Foundation staff members no matter how annoying they are. Shark Jumping Walrus, thank you for gifting a Site-42 membership to today's Containment Hazard Assessment team. If you got that promotion and you are present in the chat, make sure to thank Shark Jumping Walrus for their generosity. Flinvescence, thank you for donating again to say, I'm sorry for putting you through that. Apology accepted. What a pizza crap. Agreed, Intern Connor. Agreed. Okay. Can we please get a little fun fact for SCP-006, please? Well, how about this, Intern Alistair? Fun fact, none of you will be allowed to use SCP-006, the Fountain of Youth. It is reserved for the Overseers. Is that fun enough for you? Just imagine one day you find a picture of yourself in the SCP Wiki database, and you have a whole ass essay on some anomalous properties you didn't even know you had. Well, Intern Vivian, I don't believe that's happened to a whole lot of people. Usually if you end up as an SCP on the database, it's because you were contained, so it was pretty clear that you were an anomaly before the document was written up. That site is so volatile. Intern Center, I don't think any more volatile than any other public community space. You gotta understand, it doesn't matter what community you're a part of. Every fandom, every workplace, every hobbyist community has good apples and bad apples. The more people you get in one place, the more some of them will have emotional unbalances. Some people will be pedos. Some people will be power trippers. The vaster your community gets, the more likely one of these people is there. It's very unfortunate as a fact. And so one thing you got to learn as you travel through life is to keep your eyes open, to regulate yourself, and to watch out for people that you probably should not interact with for one reason or another. It's important to stay safe out on those streets, not to be paranoid, but just to be watchful. What's a power tripper? Turns and Fox, that's when we call it Reddit mod syndrome. It's when you are given a modicum of power and you decide to abuse it. Because, oh, I'm in charge now. My ego is the only one that matters. I.e., what I allow desks to do in this chat every day. In fact, I think we need an emoji of 504 for cases like that. Oats, I agree completely. Junior Researcher Sally, if you are still here and still moving forward on the list of emotes for the Site 42 members, a tomato with some throw lines sounds like a perfect emote to add to the pile. Dr. Sherman, the Foundation database thinks I'm an O5 council member. What? Wait, I think I know what this means. I ain't saying it, though. Yeah, that would, Why does the database think you're an overseer? Where did that come from? You need to tell me that. If you have a overseer's administration membership card access clearance and you are not supposed to have it, you need to report that immediately. Commander Price was doing an inspection on Site 42 when SCP-008-J appeared to deliver a pizza to someone named Jen. Price pursued it till it ended up inside 5886's chamber, and you can guess the rest. I mean, I honestly can't. What did 5886 do in that situation? What did... Why was Jeff delivering a pizza? Jeff is typically an electrical engineer. Did Jeff fall on hard times and have to pick up door dashing as a side hustle? Poor Jeff. Burp, why can't we just trap every lethal SCP in 3008? Intern Vivian. SCP-3008 door moves once you're inside it, meaning that if you lose sight of the door and it disappears, you can't get back out. That means we do not have safe containment of anomalies inside the Infinite IKEA. Even if we cage them up, eventually they would break out, and the ones that are basically immortal, that means they have a statistical certainty of eventually finding the door and breaking out. It is not a secure containment that we can manage. I just linked Sherman his own article in the back channels. Nice. Oh, double check. I see a notification here for Ko-Fi. Let me get that before I forget it exists. Researcher Crow's Bow, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. And thank you for going through the Ko-Fi, which is found in our support link in the chat. That Ko-Fi has a 3% fee on donations rather than 30% like YouTube Super Chats, so your donation goes a lot further, and we appreciate the effort of going that far. Make sure to grab yourself an ambrosia salad for your generosity and hard work. Do you want a pretzel? Who wants a pretzel? I found an anomaly and it makes pretzels. They have salt and taste real good, but you sing for an hour per pretzel. You're amazing and make my day. Keep up the good word, Doc. Well, thank you for the compliment. And you know what? After we had that singing anomaly mess up the whole site a couple months ago, no singing pretzels, please. Flynn Vanessence, thank you for donating again to say SCP-343 could destroy everything if he wanted. First of all, 343 is an it, not a he. It is an anomaly, therefore it is treated as an object. It is not a human, it is an object, just like a box, just like a rope. It is an anomaly. It is an object, it's an it's. Please practice proper pronoun parlance protocols at the Foundation. Secondly, you know, I doubt it could destroy everything. Reality benders are not unlimited. There's usually a range at which they can function. Dr. Clef is exceedingly good at utilizing strategies to disable and decommission them. So yes, 343 could make a mess, but I don't think everything would be destroyed. Dr. Sherman, titanium has more use than 343. Oh, I absolutely hate it that you're right. 343 is a useless son of a bitch. And at least SCP-002-J has mechanical uses as long as used properly, not by those addled idiots infected with SCP-022-1. SCP-022-J-1. Intern American. Oh, you are correct. We do currently have more likes than viewers by a wide margin. Congratulations, Containment Hazard Assessment Team. Due to your successful hitting of that like button so much, the YouTube algorithm has been bringing us more people. It's been forced to. It doesn't have a choice. The algorithm is under our control, people. Remember that. The algorithm doesn't control us. We control the algorithm. And so because you hit that like button, this stream is getting more and more people. People who may not know about SCP but are ready to learn. People who know about SCP but didn't know we were here. And either way, the more the merrier when it comes to us helping out the SCP Wiki and its authors, artists, animators, game devs, filmmakers, merch makers, etc. We appreciate your membership and your service, Site42 staff. I'ma bump this question, 369 Destroyer. What did 369 Destroyer say? What's the difference between reality bending and ontokinetic? Are those synonyms? Off the top of my head, 90% I am thinking that ontokinetic is just the fancy word for reality bending. I believe that to be the case. Yes, ontokinetic is the technical term for reality bending. So, yes, synonym. Technical term, casual term. Intern American, you're saying you're going to be motivated to make an SCP animation? Do it! Do it, you won't. Do it, you won't. Prove it. Put your animation where your mouth is, or something like that. All right. Site 42 staff, we have approximately 10 minutes left in stream. Last 10 minutes. And so, let's do one more RNG-focused SCP investigation. The next up on our database search is SCP-1154. Is SCP-1154 an overpowered Mary Sue world ender? Codename, Conceptual Dragon. Interesting. Object class, safe. SCP-1154 is contained in a storage unit located at site redacted. 1154 is the designation given to a collection of media which includes poems, short stories, a novel, and a VHS tape. All components have thematic links to an entity which the components refer to as, quote, the dragon. Descriptions of this entity vary within SCP-1154's different components, and very few of the components describe SCP-1154 in accordance with the traditional European image of a dragon. See Component Analysis 1154-1 for further information. 1154's anomalous effects become apparent when one of its components is viewed and understood by a human being, who will hereafter be referred to as the subject. Over the course of 2 weeks, the subject will experience the following phenomena. Dreams involving vaguely reptilian entities, valuables such as jewelry mysteriously disappearing, perceiving a drastic increase in the ambient temperature, a feeling that they are being followed, spontaneous combustion. This has not been known to occur with all subjects, and it is unknown what criteria, if any, affects whether this will occur. After death, the body of the subject has been known to disappear, accompanied by the sounds of consumption. Oh boy. Component look-through. So this is a very summary of various components that comprise SCP-1154. Components are numbered in the order of their discovery. So, -1 is a poem from the 1600s called The Beast of Redacted. The poem describes how a kingdom is attacked by a dragon. The king sends 3 knights to defeat it. 2 knights are killed, but the third climbs on the dragon's back. The poem described how he manages to climb atop its back and stab it in the throat. He is then eaten whole by the dragon. The poem ends with the words, "And blessed with glory was that beast, who had come from alien skies to feast." An unpublished novel entitled A Quest of Gold was the second iteration. Follows the adventures of a scholar and a group of adventurers attempt to defeat the antagonist, who is referred to as the Dragon King. The protagonists eventually kill the Dragon King, but the epilogue describes the scholar being possessed and becoming the new Dragon King. -3 is a short story called The Dragon's Shadow. The dragon is described as dog-sized and having insectoid properties. The dragon chases a boy around his house, eventually killing and consuming him. Woof. 1154 is a crayon drawing of a dragon. -5 is the dream diary of a person, roughly a redacted person, no name. Roughly 90% of the described dreams involve dragons, lizards, or fire. It is unknown why the specific dream diary carries the properties of 1154, as other written accounts of dreams caused by 1154 do not. And then -6 is a movie filmed in 1993 called Kuoen, the Eternal Dragon. The film's plot involves arrival of a humanoid reptile in Tokyo and the military's attempt to destroy it. All attempts are unsuccessful, however, as the film ends with the reptile consuming the last of the survivors. Woof. So, the Conceptual Dragon is a fairly powerful entity, but I'm not sure that I would call it a Mary Sue overpowered world ender, would you? I don't see it that way. It is interesting that reading this media then exposes you to the entity, so don't go reading any funny books here. 369 Destroyer, I already answered your question that ontokinetic means reality bender. You must have not been paying attention when I answered your question. Or my chat is reusing chats, which is weird. Okay, that was an accident. Good to know. Dr. Sherman, if you fed SCP-173 peanuts, would that be cannibalism? Intern Rupert, peanut is a nickname. It is a statue. It is made of concrete and rebar. It is not a peanut. That is a joke. You do understand jokes, correct? Also, as a statue, it doesn't eat, so we can't feed it peanuts. I gave a guy money last night. Turned out to be SCP-001-J, the broke god. Oh, that's so annoying. See, this is why you never be nice or generous to anybody. Because they might be an eldritch, broke hobo son of a bitch wasting money on porno mags and liquor instead of getting its life together. SCP-001-J, codename the broke god, is so annoying. But it's your problem now. What if we gave SCP-999 a fruit, like a strawberry or an apple? Will it just be the same as candy, or will something else happen? So, again, SCP-999 consists of candy because it's pure sugar, basically. The more extra things that are involved, the less SCP-999 is interested. So, muffins, they are sweet, they do contain sugar, but a bunch of grain and things like that that are not sugar. Fruit, while it contains a lot of sugar, also fibrous, non-sugar parts. Not allowed. Hey, Dr. Sherman, did you know the Davites fought against the Mongol Empire? Huh. I would have thought the Davites were further back in the past and did not reach to the Mongols. That's a little more modern than I expected, actually. Dr. Sherman, would SCP-001-J, the gate, not 001-J, sorry, 001, the gate guardian, be able to stop every when day breaks entity from breaking into the garden? I do believe that the gate guardian, at least when Dr. Sumerian and Illustrated wrote it, wasn't the gate guardian overwhelmed, same as everything else? Desk is saying that it would not, and in fact would win. Interesting. I'll have to look into that later. Philip November, I did not see your Ko-Fi notification. Thank you for reminding me. What about anomalies like Nanny McPhee? How do you contain them? Well, thank you for donating, and thank you for going through the Ko-Fi. And Nanny McPhee, I'm trying to remember that entity. What is a Nanny McPhee? Telekinesis, reality warping, animal control, and shifting her physical appearance from ugly to beautiful as the children learn to behave. She appears when needed but not wanted, leaving when wanted but no longer needed. So very Mary Poppins energy. And so it seems like without some very strong pataphysical narrative bending situations, we might be out of luck. The same as when we deal with Mary Poppins and the Doctor and things such as that. Remember, the Foundation is not all-powerful. We are very powerful and well-funded, but we are not infinitely strong. There are some entities we just can't contain. We have an uncontained containment class for a reason. Intern Caleb, thank you for your first donation to today's stream right at the last minute. Get yourself a milkshake on your way past the commissary. Is it true that 035 likes 049, or is it made up? I believe they have conversed in a friendly manner, as well as been shipped by various staff members. All right, Site 42 staff, we are currently at the end of stream. And as I do at the end of every stream, I tell you guys my favorite SCPs. Although I'm not going to tell you that my favorite SCPs are the ones I personally wrote. That would be sheer narcissism. We're not going to play that game. But if you want to read the SCPs I personally wrote, you can go to the Sherm's author page in Site 42 Hub at the SCP database. There you can see the SCPs I personally wrote, as well as contributed voice lines or sound effects to. And while you are on my author page, one tab over from those SCPs, there's a bunch of links. A bunch of links that people get really into trying to get to, but they never quite make it all the way. They're just not determined enough to find those links to the places they want to go. It's really sad for them, but Containment and Hazard Assessment Team, I don't think it's like that for you. I think you're determined enough to find those links. And while you're at those links, you can go to our Patreon or YouTube channel memberships to donate to us monthly. You can do Ko-Fi or YouTube Super Chats to donate to us once at a time. Either way, direct donations are the quickest way to keep the lights on here at Site 42 for myself and our staff, so we greatly appreciate it. And if you're part of the Broke Gang, and trust me, we're an arts community, starving artists is a thing for a reason, and so we understand if you're Broke Gang, you can't donate. But if you are liking, sharing, commenting, chatting on all of our videos and streams, then you are a valued and honored member of Mobile Task Force Psi-42, codenamed the Signal Boosters. And by bending the algorithm to our will, not just for us at Site-42, but for the SCP content creators we support, the SCP game devs and the filmmakers and the merch makers, the other YouTubers, as well as the SCP Wiki itself with its authors and artists, then you are doing valuable work helping to bring the SCP Wiki to more people and bring enjoyment of non-AI, wonderful human-made art just like Mom and Pop used to make. So we thank you for your service. Now, without further ado, my favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and SCP-8980. Content warning on that last one, it's a bit of a rough read. Speed round. 3999-3043-008-J, Spooky-J, 5031, 5175, 5320, Internet 80. Content warning on the last one is a rough read. Site 42 staff. This has been another Dr. Sherman's Office Hours, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site 42. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next video or stream. They have been cited, they have been indicted, and we've been ignited to break until they bend. We will deny them, this will be our anthem, and we will defy them till the bitter end. Words, witnesses heard, we know it's not that simple. The lies open our eyes, force us to rise irate. The world isn't this small, we know it's not that simple. And the gutters give birth, and we're filling the streets. The city will shake with the sound of our feet. And we'll sing our gutter anthem till the day we die. The credit song is Litter and the Leaves by Enter the Haggis. Be safe, be well, Site 42 staff, and as always, secure, contain, protect.